So if you think about, let's say, just to go on a small side tangent, if you think about what is the motivation of demons, for example, and as I mentioned earlier, the whole point of demons is to try to destroy and corrupt the light within you. That's typically what they're for. Now, if you compare that to aliens and how they operate, aliens operate more like a scientific conglomerate of corporations and military all in one. That their sole purpose is to essentially take over and assimilate worlds and create biological products that they can use for their own expansion into the rest of the universe. So they act almost as an imperial, uh, conquering, subversive, biological, military scientific force. That's how I would put it. So you could view them essentially as an evil corporation because that's how they function. They're very cold. They're sociopathic. They view us as products to use or to design or to modify for their own purposes, right? So I mean, some of them are into energy harvesting, so treating Earth as an energy farm. And Robert Monroe, one of the famous astral travel researchers, he had a few astral projection experiences where he was shown how Earth is an energy farm constructed by either aliens or hyperdimensional ultra-terrestrial beings that genetically engineered life, well, not all life on Earth, but a lot of life on Earth, to exist for the sole purpose of suffering, dying, and releasing the soul energy that they've accumulated through life. And then they harvest that soul energy and then they use it for something. Robert Monroe didn't he wasn't given details on what this energy, which he called loosh, actually does. But however, if you look at the fields of occultism, especially the part of occultism called psychic vampirism, where you are taught to feed off the life force energy of others to make yourself feel better. See, that gives a clue as to what loosh is really used for. It's used for enhancing the life force, or the enhancing the mental clarity, the occult power, the feeling. It's almost like a drug. It's almost like a drug for aliens and for demons and other non-physical beings, because it makes them more alive. It makes them more powerful. It's like fuel for their technology, essentially. So like a good metaphor for that would be the Dune books or the Dune movie. There's a substance called spice, which not only gives people psychic powers, but also is also used in their technology for interdimensional travel. And I think that's a metaphor for this loosh energy. And we as humans, we are the sandworms of Dune, producing producing this thing. And in that book, the way you get this ultra powerful water of life is by taking one of these larval worms and drowning it in water, like putting it through suffering, and it releases this blue substance, which then when you imbibe it, it makes you very psychic and makes you able to see across time. Now, that substance is a metaphor for loosh energy, because if you absorb the life force energy of another person, you're going to feel just way better. You're going to have more energy, more clarity, more power. You're going to be on top of the world with the life force energy that you stole from them because you're more alive, right? So that's essentially what this loosh energy is. And a certain aspect of the alien phenomenon seems to be geared towards this loosh farming operation. See, now that doesn't mean necessarily that Greys or Nordics eat our soul energy. The same way that someone who works on a dairy farm might not even be into milk. They might not even be lactose tolerant. They might not even be drinking the milk from the cows. However, they work on the farm to get paid because that's part of their mission. It's part of what they do. So likewise, we have aliens who might not feed on our energy, but they're part of something that does. They're part of an industry that feeds on our soul energies, our life force energy. And if you just look at the world, if you just look at human history, how tragic it is with all the war and the suffering and famine, genocides, it's very easy to see that humanity has been finely tuned to be producers of loosh energy. Just because we are sentient enough to love and to care and to fight for something, right? We're sentient enough to be that, but we're not smart enough to see the entities that are extracting this energy from us and inducing fights, inducing wars, inducing suffering, and then reducing our lifespans and so on. So I do think that the human biological form has been finely tuned to, I hate to say it, but to be almost like cattle for these non-human forces that treat Earth as a farm. And that sounds very bad, but I must remind people, this is only half the picture. I mean, there's a whole other positive half as well. Like everything I just talked about, that's like the dark side. That's like the dark rabbit hole that you can go down. But like, as I said before on other shows, there's another rabbit hole that goes upwards. Okay, there's another rabbit hole that goes upwards into spirituality, metaphysics, angels, positive forces, the higher self, reincarnation, wisdom, lessons, the spirit, the God spark. See, all these positive things, those are things that are outside all this dark stuff. It is beyond that, and it's where we truly come from. That's who we truly are at the core. We just happen to be here, embedded in darkness, being subjected to this energy farm because, well, that's an area of speculation. But personally, I believe that we made a gamble. We made a gamble that we come here into this darkness. We face these challenges. And as a result, we gain wisdom, we gain strength, we gain certain spiritual soul powers, so that when we leave, we are stronger and can do more things on the other side than we could otherwise, than just staying up there and not even coming here. But the downside is, by coming here, you lose a lot of your memories. I mean, you don't lose them permanently. They're just sequestered. So they're compartmentalized away. They're quarantined. So you don't have access to your past life memories necessarily. You go through life making mistakes. You suffer a lot for a lot of people. And so, you know, the Loosh farm operators, the ones who run this corporate farm, they get their energy from it. They get what they want, and then we get what we want because we want the improvement of our souls. So it's almost like trial by fire, trial by water. We come here to face the ultimate darkness in order to learn discernment, knowledge, strength, you know, glory, all these wonderful soul qualities, which you really can only get by coming here and not simply being there and learning it vicariously. See, because here's the thing. See, you could easily stay in the afterlife realm, in the higher spirit realms, and maybe watch people here and learn from their lessons. Okay, you can do that if you want. You can learn from other people's mistakes and the suffering that they're going through, and you can improve in your wisdom that way. But what you can't do is become stronger that way, because you're not going through it yourself. See, it's like a physical therapist or a sports medicine person who knows everything about the human body and how the muscles work, but they're not working out. They're not actually in the gym improving themselves physically. So if they want to improve themselves physically and put their knowledge into use, they got to come into the gym, start working out, make their muscles all sore. And at the end of that entire process, yeah, they're going to be fit and they're going to be living their knowledge. So I think that's one of the major attractions why higher souls come here, is to test themselves and actualize their wisdom and gain more wisdom. So we're kind of improving ourselves, but however, the cost, however, is that we pay an inordinate amount of life force and emotional and Loosh energy to the operators of this farm or this casino, right? So when people go to Las Vegas, they're going there to have a good time, maybe make some money, right? They're going there for the entertainment and to maybe make some money. But the casinos only exist to make money and to rip people off, right? But because they do that, that doesn't mean that there's no value to going to Las Vegas, because people do get something out of it. They get the fun, the experience, you know, the flash, the food, whatever. They get that out of it, but it comes at a cost of potentially losing all your money. So I think Las Vegas is a pretty good metaphor for our reality and what's really going on here.